Well, several days of heavy rains in eastern Tennessee have forced evacuations in the largest and busiest campground in the Smoky Mountains. Some 300 people in the Elkmont campground have been relocated to a visitor center in Gatlinburg. Several roads in the area were also closed. Some areas around there have seen as much as 8 inches of rain just this week. Well, we dealt with our own round of heavy rain just a couple of weeks ago, and today is the day that we have finally got the drought monitor in, showing the improvement in our drought conditions over South Texas since all of that rain. So here's a look at the drought monitor from last week. You can see we've got a lot of severe drought just to the north of Corpus Christi here in this kind of peach color. That's more moderate drought. You can see that most of the coastal bend was dealing with drought conditions. Watch as we throw on this week. Boom. Almost completely gone for the entire coastal bend. As you work your way further on up to the upper Texas coastline out to the west, more into central Texas, we're still dealing with the drought there. And the important thing will be that we continue to get some maintenance rain in our area. If we don't continue to keep up with the rain, we're just going to go right back to where we were at just a few weeks ago. Temperatures were in the 80s for most locations now, 86 in Corpus Christi. Heat index, this is what it feels like outside, 99 degrees in Ingleside, 96 in Robstown, and 102 is still what it feels like in Falfurrias. As we look a little, take a broader view here, we've got a few showers that have developed across the Gulf of Mexico today. Those have been barely going on shore, especially for the upper Texas coastline, not so much here for us in the coastal bend. But as we take a wider view, we've got high pressure sitting over the eastern Gulf, and that has pretty much eliminated any tropical development for now, which we're okay with. And this high pressure, the flow around this anyway, has been pushing some of those showers onto the shore today. This is also going to start to influence our weather pattern, though, in terms of that African dust we've been talking about that has made its way across the Atlantic into the Caribbean Sea, and it's now even in the southern Gulf of Mexico. All of this dust, you can kind of see the haze down here within this yellow polygon. That's going to start to get wrapped around this high pressure system and eventually get pushed here into the coastal bend as we head into tomorrow, and then for the weekend it's looking like as well. This may make our sky just a little bit murky. It may also aggravate your allergies a little bit, especially if you have respiratory problems or just very sensitive allergies. And good news is it's going to be gone though by the time we hit next week. So we'll take that. In terms of the moisture in our atmosphere, though, we're going to be pretty dry all the way through the start of that week, the start of next week rather, as the dust maintains its stay here in our atmosphere. As we get into middle of next week, closer to 4th of July, that's when we're going to start to watch some higher amounts of moisture move into the coastal bend, which might just throw a chance of rain in our direction by the time we hit the 4th. So we're going to need to keep an eye on that because that could have big impacts on a lot of folks' plans. For tomorrow, we're going to be watching temperatures climb up into the lower 90s by the afternoon. It's going to be really windy though. By the time we hit noon, we're going to be blowing around 20 miles per hour. 5 p.m. around 23 miles per hour, and some of those gusts could be up there 25 to 30 miles per hour. So and it's really not even going to taper off much once we get into the evening. So it's going to be a blustery Friday for us here in the coastal bend. In terms of that 7-day forecast, this is brought to you by AutoNation 72-hour flash sale. Get supercharged savings. Hurry, these savings end in a flash. For that 7-day, we've got temperatures in the lower 90s really all the way through the end of the forecast. We've got that haze working in by the weekend. It's going to stick around through about Sunday, and then it's gone as we hit to the start of next week. Then as we get toward 4th of July, we may have to start watching for those rain chances. There's a lot of uncertainty with that, so stay tuned